everyone, and welcome into our final segment of our summer COVID-19 Roundtable series. Throughout this series, we have explored topics like financials and residence life, dining, and today we're going to be delving into what the world of academics will look like when we return for the fall semester. As you all know, we were updated that the first 4 weeks of classes will be online and move-in was pushed back with that as well. If you would like to read the article that we did on that, it will be linked in the description box down below. But today we're going to be talking about classes and how things are going to look academically for students for the fall semester. So up first, we are going to have our news editor, Joanna, speak about what online teaching is going to look like.
Thank you, Elle. I am Joanna Marino, the news editor for the Equinox. The recent President's Update announced that in-person classes will be delayed another week. This means that the mandatory online instruction period is now the first 4 weeks of the semester. With various subject areas turning online for this period and many remaining virtual, a question and concern for many students is how exactly will the academic experience look like in the fall? The finalized reopening plan included a section of protocols for in-person instruction, such as classroom capacity and frequent hygiene precautions. However, page 15 of the plan briefly mentions that changes will be made in order to accommodate hybrid instruction, which are courses that would be half online and half in person. The plan states, FDU will deploy additional technology for hybrid and other teaching options in selected classrooms and laboratories to accommodate students who are using alternating or full-time remote instruction. President Capuanos talked about hybrid instruction in a radio interview with WCBS, stating that CDC social distancing policies may not allow for larger classes to be taught all at once. However, this was elaborated more on July 23rd's virtual town hall that was hosted after the release of the reopening plan. The university provost and vice president for academic affairs, Jillian Small, gave the following example of a potential hybrid class in the fall. Half the class will come in person on Monday, while the rest of the class will use technology to join that class or do some other work assigned by the faculty member. On Thursday, students will switch. In order to make virtual classes more accessible, in the fully online or hybrid case, select classrooms on campus will be turned into Zoom rooms. Cameras will be installed in the front and the back of the room for students to be able to have a full view. Microphones will also be installed for students who are attending virtually to be able to ask questions live. Apart from the classes that have synchronous meetings, students will be expected to check their respective courses on WebCampus to remain up to date with assignments and materials. So be sure to check your schedule on WebAdvisor for any changes in venue and instruction method, because they will sure to come as the fall semester creeps closer. And back to you, Will.
Thank you, Joanna. So as we know, this semester is definitely going to probably continue to change as we get into it, just because we don't know what's going to be happening with the pandemic. There's a lot of uncertainty. So just make sure that you are staying up to date with your resources like WebCampus, WebAdvisor, whatnot. Make sure that you're staying in contact with your professors once classes start, just to be sure that you are up to date on everything, and ask questions to your professors. They are dealing with just as uncertain of a time as we are as students. So make sure that you are keeping that line of communication open. So something that a lot of people are probably wondering about is textbooks for this semester. So as you know, you can go online to the bookstore to see what textbooks you need for your class, as well as they will be listed in your syllabi when you receive them. But how are you supposed to get your textbooks? Our sports editor, Anthony Cavino, is going to speak on that.
So hello again, everybody. It's Anthony, and I'm here to tell you all the news about how to get your textbooks this semester and how it will work when purchasing them from the bookstore. So with classes being online for the first month now for the semester, which begins August 17th, students do not currently know whether or not they will need the required textbooks for their courses yet, since there is a possibility that online instruction could be extended longer since it already got extended a week later to September 14th. So the FDU bookstore announced as that they will have contact-free home delivery and scheduled in-store pickup from August 17th to September 7th with store hours from 10 to 4. I'm sure this will be extended to the 14th because that's our new date to go back, but they didn't update it to the website. In-store shopping is set to begin on September 8th from 10 to 4 as well from Monday to Friday. That may get extended as well, probably because due to another week of online instruction, but we'll keep everyone up to date on that. So it looks like with the bookstore open, students will be able to purchase or rent their textbooks, have them delivered to their house, contact-free, or even pick them up in store if they want to, with scheduled time slots because they're going to be limited every day since it's only 10 to 4. And like I said before, it is unknown if professors will be sticking to textbooks with their syllabuses. But with the bookstore open, I would say most likely professors are still going to require the textbooks to be used, even though we're going to be online for the first month of the semester. So back to you, Al.
Thank you, Anthony. There's a ton of different ways that you can find out what books you need. I always say, make sure you ask your professor on the first day of class if the textbook is required, because some professors do not actually require the textbook, especially ones that are extremely expensive. They are required to list a textbook in most cases on their syllabi. So make sure that you ask. And also, there are also other online resources. If you don't get your books to the bookstore, I'm sure you know about that, but there are ways to get your books even during this crazy time where we don't know when exactly online instruction will be going until and when we will be back on campus, which brings us to the topic of on-campus resources. So whenever we're on campus, there's things like the library that's open, and also in Dickinson Hall, they have the research library that is open to specific students. We also have the Metro Writing Studio. So there's a lot of on-campus resources that were made virtual in the spring semester whenever we had to do that quick switch to online. But now that they've had a lot more time to prepare and decide how to make these resources accessible to students, our staff writer Sonal is going to speak about ways that you can still utilize these resources with classes being online.
Good afternoon, my name is Sonal and I am a staff writer for the FDU Equinox. The compressed academic schedule requires all FDU students and faculty to adjust and work much harder to meet objectives and goals, which entails pulling information from more resources. Unfortunately, students will not be able to enter the library to borrow books. Library print resources will be delivered as curbside pickup. More details about this are reported in the article that news editor Joanna wrote about library and computer lab protocols from the reopening report. While it is not yet known what the plans are for reopening the Metro Writing Studio, FDU offers online academic help. A mobile app students can use to upload their notes to help others or to view other people's notes is called CircleIn. FDU has partnered with CircleIn so students can enter their classes to find relevant notes more easily. Another digital service FDU provides is called Smart Thinking, which is a website. Students can access it by logging into either services.smartthinking.com/student/services or tutoring.fdu.edu. One essential part of both academic and professional careers is reading. This means reading books, journal articles, newspapers, magazines related to the field. In addition, students may need to utilize these sources to write papers. Fortunately, the Giovanna Library has been adding new databases for each major to increase the number of sources that are available online to the FDU community. If there is anything else that is needed pertaining to academic support, or if there are any questions about services that the Giovanna Library offers, students, faculty, and staff are encouraged to go to fdu.libguides.com/library and use the link to email a librarian. The library staff and resources are still here for the FDU community to support everyone and to fill gaps in the online academics at FDU. Back to you, Elle.
Thank you, Sonal. Something that they did do with the Metro Writing Studio in the spring semester when we made the switch to online was you could make an appointment with someone from the writing studio. I believe that you had to send them an email with your assignment and then like the document of what like you wrote for your assignment, and then they would go through it with you via Zoom. So that is definitely a way that will possibly be happening this fall for the Metro Writing Studio, at least for the first month, when we're completely online as of right now. And just make sure that you are using the resources that are given to you. Like Sonal said, there are tons and tons of things that you can use on the library's website if you need to do research on a topic. The online library database actually sometimes can be extremely useful for pretty much any major if you have to do any sort of research for any sort of topic. So definitely make sure that you familiarize yourself with it and you can confidently use it and know how to use it. So something that happened in the spring semester was there was given a pass-fail option to students, and our entertainment editor, Nancy Sanchez, is going to speak a little bit about that.
Yes. Hello, everyone. I'm Nancy, the entertainment editor. So with the uncertainty of COVID-19 looming over the nation, students are left wondering, will we be looking at another semester of the pass-fail option should all classes move online again? And the very sad and unfortunate answer is probably not. While FDU has not spoken out on the grading system this fall, one can only assume that we will revert to the traditional AF grading system. Even if the university decides to cancel our return to campus, it will probably remain the same. Duke University, for instance, already made this very same decision. This is what they had to say in regards to their decision to revert back to traditional grading. And I quote, "We offer the satisfactory, unsatisfactory grading option in spring 2020 to help mitigate the pressures associated with students' transitions away from campus and into remote course delivery," Bennett wrote in an email to the Chronicle. Both faculty and students now have greater familiarity with remote course delivery, and all of our student support units are working with students remotely, Bennett wrote. Similarly, with the hybrid instruction that is set to take place this fall, professors at our university seem to be well prepared should we make the transition to online classes again, eliminating the element of surprise and unpredictability that we had to deal with back in March. Until then, we are still waiting on an announcement from President Capuano. The ad drop deadline will be August 31st. Thank you.
Make sure that you are keeping the ad drop deadline in mind, especially because some classes may be very different with having to do online instruction. And if you're struggling with a class, change it out for something else in your degree audit that might help you and your GPA until we can actually get back to being in person full time. That's what I would do. Just like as a person and a student, is try not to kill your GPA if you don't have to for this upcoming semester, and just make sure that you are aware of the schedule for FDU, which our managing editor, Amaya Morales, actually did a story on. So make sure that you do stay updated on when the ad drop deadline is, and also just in general, stay updated on everything that is going on at FDU. This is our last roundtable for our COVID-19 summer series. Like I said, this was 6 episodes, so make sure if you need any information regarding FDU's reopening and COVID-19 to check out our other special edition roundtables. We also had a special edition where we spoke to President Capuano in an interview style with myself and President Capuano, and we were able to get a lot of answers about the fall semester as well. You know, make sure you go and check out our website, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel if you do want to stay updated. We are hoping to have some sort of video format roundtable series coming this fall for everyone to keep the student body updated as much as we possibly can. So that is definitely in the works. And we just want to thank everyone who has watched our roundtable series and stayed up to date with us throughout this entire summer. It has been a year like no other, and it probably will continue to be as long as the coronavirus pandemic is as prevalent as it is currently in the United States. But we hope that everyone is staying safe, and we will see you guys when the semester starts, hopefully.